Okay, welcome back to the drum animation using MIDI. What we've got from the last time was that we've made the tom-toms move and the floor toms and the actual snare there. Now what I'd like to do is actually physically now get one of these tom-toms to work. So to do that, I'm going to choose this 12-inch tom and have a look at the data we've got. Now here we've got two timing stamps there and there. So that's a pattern coming in for the first hit. Now, having looked at it, I've seen that the drumstick left is actually quite busy. So here's the actual left hand one there. And you can see there's an awful lot going on. So if we look between them 2 points, between there and there, we could just about get it in there, but the actual right hand stick is a little bit freer. So what I did, I've used the drumstick right. So this is one of the existing markers. Now what I've done is I've put a free space mark in there and I've moved this up to the new drum position. Okay, so if we look at that, you can see that's where it's moved to. Okay, so I've then got the 2 marks there and there, and then I've returned it back to where it came from, just using copy and paste. So that's the new position, which I've done by literally going up to the settings and just clicking on each one of these, and that's given me a new position in the free world for that tom-tom. This is an existing position for that snare, which is there. So I can now move it from there to there, and as I said before, you can make the transition smooth if you so wish. The bit we're missing now is we haven't got any drums hitting on this side of the fence, okay? So what I'm going to do before I add the new pattern into the timeline on the right hand stick, that's the stick there. So I'm going to choose the stick, but I'm going to save my work. So I'm going to save it there, okay? So now I've got somewhere I can go back to should it not work. Okay, so now let's proceed onwards and we get back to the script, run the script and choose assignments, channel 10. On the range bit, we need to use the high tom 2 first. I'm going to use Y rotate, and in here we're going to put -12. Okay, apply assignments. So let's just see if that's actually worked. So we go to where the drum is, and as we come in, it now goes down in sync with the drum. Notice it's not particularly much movement there, but that's really entirely up to you how much you want that to work. Move back onto this spatial timer and we'll drop it down a little bit and then watch it again. Don't forget, once we've done a movement, we need to make sure that effectively that's moved this stick. Okay, so what it's done, do you see that it's put the new one in there? That's something we don't want to do, and we're going to go back to the stick right. Okay, just if you so wish, we can just click on these buttons here exactly the same way. Okay, so now we've got a new setting there. We'll make them constant. Now let's see what it does. So we go along, strikes down, but it's still not quite far enough. So come back to this one again. Start to move it in to get it closer. Okay, so and what we've got to be careful of, again, I've changed this, so go into constant mode again. And now we come across it, it goes down and then back up. So that's nearly hitting that drum. So let's go in a bit closer now to see how well we're doing with this. Going down. Okay, so that's not too bad. We'll give it just a tiny bit more. And again, change it back to constant. Now it's going down, coming back up, and then it's returning. Okay, so let's look at that in the real world. Coming back around here. Okay, so we're going to start off there. It's going to come along, it's going to jump to the next one. It's then going to play, and then it's going to return back to this one. Okay, so basically that's how we're going to get the tom-tom to work. Okay, so just bear in mind, when I made this change here, I've put it into the drumstick right and not into the actual stick. And I've put the timing in before we've done any more overlaying into the same track, if you like. I have put the, I've saved the file. Now there's a couple of other places in here where that same thing exists. So what I can do effectively is I know where them two timing points are. I know these are the two that I would like, so I'm going to keep them. Okay, so we'll open this up so I can show you where we're talking about. So in this particular one, as we go along, there are, on that one there, there's one there and there's one there. So now I can go directly to this one. Okay, we can come back in. And this is where it gets more fun, because we've got a different pattern to work with. Okay, so let's just see what that does. In reality, we're now seeing that pattern in the bottom line. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what's actually happening is we need to move. We're going to first of all just put this in here. So there's our 2 points. I'm going to move that one out of the way for a minute. So now we're in the right place. Now let's have a quick look and see what happens. It's going along, then it's going down once, back up again, down again, up again, down again, up again, and then obviously it's got to return back. So if we look, there's nothing happening on that snare or anything else in that timeline. So here's our, let's just get that up a little bit quicker. Okay, so we need to now move this back, and possibly we could move the whole shooting match to here, to be honest. So going from, I'm just running through it again, we're going up there, it's doing more than one, as you can see, and then returning back. So that's taken care of that one. It looks like we've got one more to play with, so I'm just going to find that one. Okay, that's over here. Bring that back in again. Okay, so now we've got something very similar as we had before. So we'll position it here. We're going to use this paste function here. Okay. So we know from there it's going to jump up to its new location. All right. From there. And then return back. So there's the ones in question from there. Okay, so this one though, what we've got, it looks like we've got one already in there. So if we follow that along, this is a drumstick right, and look at this spacing between here. Okay, there's the copy of what we've got. So if we watch that stick, it's going, let's get closer in so you can see it. Okay, so it's up at the moment, then it's gone down and struck the drum, but look, it's still down when it goes up there. And this is the note off for that original one. So what we need to do as well, this one here, that's fine. But so what's happened here is that is the strike, if you like, okay? But it's down before we got there. So this one, that's note off. There is a note on there, and it must have an equivalent note off somewhere. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've actually got a note off, which is sitting in that bit. Because we've moved them, we can move this back. just a touch, so that it does return. Okay. Now, because we put that there, I'm going to move this block along a little bit closer to the mark. Move that one back a little bit. Okay, so let's have a look. Up to the top, down, up, and then return back again. Okay, so this is the return there. Okay, so we now need to get that past this top bit. So we're going to move that across to here. And again, we're going to come in. The drumstick lifts up. We've moved it over to there. It then plays what we want. Okay, up, down, and then finally returns back. And this is where it hits and gets ready for the next lot. Okay. So, in fact, although we've returned it here, it's actually gone over there. So this is something you might want to consider. Do you want it to return back to the snare drum, or should we just move it across to that one? So for now, we're going to delete that one. Now let's see what happens. So effectively, we've come along, we've made it come up again. Then it does 2 taps on the top, okay? But this time, it then flies over to the cymbal over here, okay? So that's the crash. Ready for something's going to happen over there, okay? There we go. So, by using this cut and paste method, a little bit of logic to say where we're going from one to the other, we can then do that. So, what we might want to do is just move this slightly closer, and we can bring back our note there. So, it's on there. Move that up a tiny bit for you. Then it's returned, then it's moved, then it's done the top ones, then it's flown over to the crash. And that's how you get the first part of the sequence in there, using your cut and paste. And bear in mind, these note offs are the ones that we physically moved. As long as you get enough time in between there to see it and move it across, and believe you me, that is going to be quite fast through there, that should work quite well. But let's have a quick look in real time and see what it does. So let's bring that over there so we can see it. I'll bring them in so we can get all of those in the picture for us. We'll play that last sequence through there. So here we go. Okay, so you can see it's moved and done that quite accurately. That's the real beauty of this keymate. You can see what's happening and you can apply the logic to it. Well, I hope that helps. It's been nice talking to you. I'll carry on doing the rest of the tom-toms, and you have a lovely time animating. Take care now.